Okay, one of the tools that I get into really pretty heavily with my students is that of the metaphysical. Now, the metaphysical is, for those of you that have heard of the law of attraction, that really is, in a nutshell, what they are talking about. It's putting those good vibes out there, asking the universe, telling the universe, getting that yes in return. You can do that very much in dating. And what happens is it gets translated into confidence. It really does. For those of you that journal your day, there's something very powerful there going on. As you put things down onto paper, you are recording them for the universe. They happened. But you can also go back and journal before these things happen. So if you're writing, I'm going to get that gorgeous girl at my office, or I have that gorgeous girl at my office. I'm going out with her on Friday. I am, going to take her here. I'm going to make X amount of money so I can afford to do these kind of things in my dating life. The metaphysical really is huge. One thing I would advise you to do is to write down how your date is going to go. So I am going to leave my office at 6 o'clock and I'm going to drive in my Mercedes to pick her up. And then I'm going to take her to the Twilight Festival and concert series. And then after, we're going to go get gelato. And, it's just when you start writing those things down, they're now out there. They're now the spoken word. You have they taken place yet? Absolutely, they have. They're on paper. Um, Kind of a weirdo when I think about like my dreams and things like that. When I have a dream about somebody, they didn't have that same dream, but it happened to them, and I know it did because I saw it take place in my dream. And and so it's one reason why I love dreams. But your dreams can happen anytime, not just necessarily while you're sleeping. Um, so putting those affirmations out there, talking good about yourself, being positive, being humorous, you're going to see that this tool right here is really implemented in a lot of the coaching that I give, all the way from back when you did the list of 10, or when you did the daily approach. You know, when you approach that cute little old lady from Pasadena, um, you also approach the gorgeous woman at the same time by doing that. Like, we're all linked together. We're all here on this journey together. So when you see the old man trying to jump start his car and you go over and help him and assist him, that approach is the same way that you would approach Britney Spears if she happened to pull into the parking lot right now. So the metaphysical is very important. It's all around us. How are you showing up? Because if you're a creepy dude, but you're also a jerk and you're negative, that's not going to help you. But if you're showing up in a different way to where women might think you're a little bit on the creepy side, or there's a mystery about you, by being positive and confident, you're going to start to erase all those other things that are misconceptions about you. You know, very few of us, there's some people in my training that I've been trained by that believe there's good in all of us. And I'd like to believe that. But I've seen some pretty dark people. But for the most part, we all have the ability to to show the world what we are all about. And if you want the people to see that you have light and that you're not creepy and you're not shady and you are honest, then just simply be those things. If that's who you are, be it. And then people will see that. The metaphysical, this is kind of an odd assignment. It's probably in a lot of ways the most important one, but it's the most difficult to really just explain and talk about. It comes from your heart. Your heart is so powerful. Care about people that you interact with and that you date with. That's the metaphysical as well. When you go on a date with someone you don't know, you haven't even met yet, but you already know that you care about that person, you're going to show up in a caring way. Naturally, we're caring people. If you're that kind of guy who really is already planning on doing a woman ill, and you're going to treat her with disrespect, you're going to show up that way. I mean, that's your goal, right? A woman isn't going to see this beaming man of light come through the door who's going to end up treating her like garbage. It really doesn't work that way. Is it more often that a woman sees someone coming through whose countenance and their appearance is dark and they end up treating her that way? It's far more common. And so, really, the metaphysical is getting so much more into just being who we are in the moment, being who we are as a person who cares about that individual. Because light and love is always going to conquer everything else. You can be in a dating situation where things go south, they go bad, but by really caring about that person, it can come full circle. I've had very few, in fact, I think I've really only had one date that went bad. And it was over something that was very negative. It was dark. It was, I showed up in a way that she didn't appreciate. It wasn't anything to do with, our physical space. It wasn't an intimate thing. It was, I don't really want to get into it because I'm sure someone will judge me on it anyway. But I could have stopped that right then, but I wanted to keep going with it. We argued about something, and I took her home. We still were friends after that time because later on I explained to her what I'd meant. That I wasn't trying to offend her or someone in her family. But I didn't care about her. I didn't care that she saw the truth. I didn't, care for her feelings and what she thought, and that's the path that I chose. And so, if you really care about someone and you're showing up in love, that will be your results. So put that out there. Start way before the date. Know that the people you're going to care about, you love. I'm going to have to do a segment once where I'm holding one of my daughters because they're the key to all of this. I know that anyone I'm going to date has a father, and I'm a father, and I don't want someone disrespecting my daughters. And I really feel that's why I get or have had the better results is because I care about somebody's daughter. When I see her, she's a grown woman. But before I meet her, she's somebody's little girl. And that starts the journey from that point. And so that's the metaphysical design, really. It's all around us. But yeah, this is definitely a segment that I'd love to maybe do some one-on-one work with because these affirmations, these positive things that you're putting out there are going to affect you in every possible way.